Bucky's Basement. Bucky's Basement.
Welcome to this week's episode of Bucky's Basement. I'm Bucky, and as always in the basement with me today, I have Old Boy.
Happy to be here.
And Juicebox.
Damn, that was my sound effect for the next fast pitch.
Oh, a fly?
The fly.
And we are back with another episode 2 of our limited series, Cage Fight. If you tuned into episode 1, you understand how this works. We broke this entire thing down. We've watched 28 Nick Cage films in an entire year.
Yep.
We've put out episodes reviewing every one of those films.
We have.
And we basically came to a stopping point, and we were like, hey, what if we took the first 28 Nick Cage characters from 1984 to 2000
and made them kiss
and made something like that and made them actually fight to the death in a tournament style bracket matchup, because it is March.
That's right.
The time has changed back. We're finally out of daylight savings.
Yeah.
We are back with long days and long, awake times.
Right.
And more time to record, and for you, more time to listen.
I think, let's say the real reason. It's because we're dudes and this is what we think of. We're like, I wonder who'd win in this fight. That's really what it is. It's like that one scene in Guarding Test where they're talking about the first ladies fighting.
That's true.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's us.
That's us. Yeah.
So one of us is going to kidnap the first lady soon?
Not I.
That might happen in one of these cage fights.
Our cousins are.
Yeah.
Right.
But like I said, we are back with another episode of Cage Fight. This is a limited series on Bucky's Basement. Wherever you're listening to us on your favorite podcast network, you can also watch us on YouTube. Juicebox created this incredible Street Fighter Mortal Kombat screen where these cages are going to fight each other. And that's how we decide, is we put it into this computer system and it decides for us.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. It's such a Mortal Kombat Street Fighter feel, and it's just nostalgic as fuck. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was a fun thing to make, and I do think I am proud of how it turned out.
If you follow us on social media at Bucky's Basement, you can see all of these videos and these creations that we were doing, and it's a lot of fun because we wanted this limited series to be special. You guys are out there, you're watching basketball. Everything is March Madness. We wanted to create our own March Madness. We hope that you have gone on our social medias and printed out your own Nick Cage 2018 bracket, and you are currently filling that out as we speak.
Yeah, send us your pictures of your bracket.
Because if you didn't, you're cheating. If you're listening to these episodes and then filling out your bracket and giving it to your friends, And
you're like, look, I got 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. But we are back this week with another cage fight. We're actually going to have 2 fights for you today. So this is how we break it down. There are 3 of us, and 2 of us are having to take Nick Cage characters and go up against each other with courtroom-style arguments. We're going to do opening arguments. We're going to do a rebuttal apiece, and then the judge or referee that week gets to decide who would win between these 2 Nick Cage characters. This episode that we have coming up for you today, we have 1993's Red Rock West, and the character Michael is up against 1994's Trapped in Paradise's Bill Firpo.
Correct.
And then after that, we're going to have 2023's Paul Matthews from Dream Scenario, which is one of the newer movies that we've recorded.
Yeah.
And Tom Wells from 1999's 8mm, which is
my man.
Tom
Wells.
That's going to be a hard one to beat there. The beautiful thing about this is we all got drunk one night and we ranked all of these cages, so they all have seating. and some are more favorable than others. But the beauty about what we're doing here in this experiment on Cage Fight is you've got to come up with creative ways to beat your opponent, and I think it can be done depending on the judge, because we've all agreed with we've all spit in our palms and shook each other's hand that we will be as fair as possible when we are the referee, and there is no bias going on. Old boy. And
This
we're gonna
motherfucker.
I know, man.
This
He just
motherfucker.
he's like, well, he didn't really create that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
He's biased.
And
this
also,
that.
you went through the same spiel in the first episode, and then you were the person that got fucking mad. Even though you
Right.
won, you were like, you guys are in a conspiracy against me.
right.
because I want to win, and I just want it to be fair.
No, you just want to win.
This election was stolen.
No,
'Cause I did win.
no, we're not doing that.
You planted the seed. Yeah, anyway.
All right. Well, anyway, without further ado, we're going to get into Cage Fight with you. Our first fight tonight. I get to be the referee. It's my first time refereeing on Cage Fight. I'm excited about this. I'm excited for you guys to argue your sides
All right.
and your characters to me. And I want to show you good faith and show you how I'm going to make a decision just based off everything that I'm hearing. Some of these movies we recorded, 28 of them, I don't remember. So I'm excited to
56
get a little
hours.
bit of that back and for you to remind me about that movie and these special characters that Nick Cage is playing in these movies. So up first, 1993's Red Rock West is Michael, and 1994's Trapped in Paradise is Bill Firpo. The way we decide who goes first is a good old-fashioned paper, rock, scissors. We have Juicebox versus Old Boy in this fight.
Throw it towards the camera.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh, we got a tie.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh,
all right.
Juicebox gets scissors over paper on Old Boy.
You're going first, old boy.
Ooh, Juicebox is giving Old Boy
That'd
the
be fine.
first. He
Yeah.
has drawn Bill Firpo from 1994's Trapped in Paradise, the special Christmas comedy featuring Dana Carvey and the great John Lovitz.
It was special.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Special ed. Bill has had a hard life. Growing up with two idiot brothers, he's had to go to extremes to keep his and his brothers' heads above water. He's not too proud to admit he's lived outside the law. But he too is trying to do the right thing. It's just so damn hard. So when the Firpo brothers roll into Red Rock West, they think it's an easy job in a sleepy mountain town. No one will know they were there. But when Bill gets mistaken for a hitman named Lyle and Bill's kid brother Alvin gets picked up for shoplifting $70 of convenience store snacks. That's a callback to how expensive the snacks were in Red Rock West.
Yeah.
Bill's back's against the wall, and he's got a shotgun in the trunk. A whole arsenal, in fact. And he ain't fucking around. You think Bill's going to run out of gas? Hell no. The brothers Firpo learned their lesson in Paradise. They'll leave no witnesses this time, even the low-luck drifter Michael.
What I just heard is interesting. It's the first time in Cage Fight that you've brought up a alternate timeline scenario.
I'm just putting them I'm putting them in Red Rock West, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, well, it can be part of my rebuttal because I think my character is not alone. He has two brothers.
Okay.
And
You can argue this in your rebuttal. I'm going to have to
Okay,
stop
all right.
you because you've given your opening statement. Now I'm going to need Juicebox's opening statement for Michael from 1993's Red Rock West.
Michael is a drifter who always does the right thing, no matter what. He is crafty after surviving on his own for God knows how many years. He rolls into town and convinces Wayne, like a con man himself, that he is Lyle, the hitman. He's smooth. He can operate quickly. He's like, he doesn't seem smart, but he's got a cleverness and a mental quickness. He shows this when he's fighting Lyle in the cemetery, and Lyle is trying to kill him, and he flips him around and impales him on the statue super quick. Bam. He also has a strong moral compass. I'm not sure how that exactly helps him. But he dumps the money and throws the woman off the train because that was the right thing to do. He's tough. He shaves with old, cold water on the side of the road and shows he can take a beating to Lyle without even missing a step. Bill Firpo, on the other hand, was conned into robbing a bank by his own brothers, one of which was the stupidest, worst character in any of these movies that we've watched so far. He goes
Disagree.
to...
Keep going.
This is my argument. He goes to rob the bank, takes everybody hostage, the whole entire town. This is his plan, to take the entire town hostage. I don't know. He's not a quick thinker. I think Michael could also send in Laura Flynn Boyle to seduce him because he was came on to automatically in love with the girl that showed no interest in him in this movie or in Trapped in Paradise. So I don't know. I think Bill Firpo does not have the mental acuity to step up to Michael.
All right, so we've heard from Juicebox defending Michael from Red Rock West, and Old Boy, you have a 1-minute rebuttal from what he said, and to make up for anything that you want to say that you might have missed in your opening argument.
Yeah, I don't know how much time I had on my first one, but all right. So real quick, my guy's already corrupt. He's already robbing banks. He didn't have to be tricked into it. He didn't fall into it. He's been living it. And I think Michael doesn't have the nuts to kill anybody, but my guy is literally nuts by his brothers. Plus, your guy has a bum leg, and I can see the Firpo boys exploiting that. And lastly, remember the robbery scene where he robs the whole town. He wields that shotgun like a pro. He's handy with guns. He had a whole arsenal in his trunk. He didn't have to get handed a gun or anything else. So he knows how to wield weapons. And I'm not sure if Michael even killed anybody. He threw Homeboy on the thing, but I think Laura Flynn Boyle's the one that killed him. I think she shot him, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I forget. But anyway, I think my guy is just a New York street tough.
Okay. That was a minute. Juicebox?
The bum leg doesn't matter because it only matters when it matters. Okay, let's be honest about that. I'm also saying that Michael, yes, he didn't kill anybody. He doesn't need to kill anybody. He got other people. He got Laura Flynn Boyle to finish the job for him. He can get somebody else to finish the job and still stand on the moral high ground. Bill Firpo does have an arsenal of weapons. I'll give him that. He is a criminal. He's probably maybe killed somebody before, even though they don't really allude to that. They're just trying to say that he's a bank robber with his two fucking idiot brothers. So I don't know. I got nothing else. I don't think that Bill Firpo could take on Michael.
All right. As the referee / judge, I do have a few questions for at least one question per person.
Okay.
I'm going to start with Old Boy and Bill Firpo.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I want to ask this question is because in your entire argument, you mentioned the Firpo boys.
Right.
In your first scenario, you said the Firpo boys go into Red Rock West.
Correct.
In the second, this is a cage fight. So we are taking Bill away from his brothers. He no longer has his support.
That's right.
So do you believe that without his brother's help, that he could, in a one-on-one fight in a cage, defeat Michael?
Yeah, because he has brothers, and you grow up fighting your brothers. That's my thought.
He's the oldest brother, though.
Correct. And
So
you spend
when you're the oldest brother, you always dominate two younger little kids.
So he can take on two at once.
Okay. That aren't nearly as big as him.
I mean, Lovitz is kind of fat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still
And Dana
dudes.
Carvey feels like he could take a punch because he is so dumb.
He is clearly taking a lot of punches.
All right, Juicebox. In Red Rock West, this is true that Michael helps murder someone or finishes the job, so to speak. So he does have that in him. He has that instinct in him. In any other part of Red Rock West, you see the killer instinct that will allow him to win this fight inside a cage with the ex-con Bill Firpo, who, by the looks of it, with the guns in the trunk, probably knows how to use at least one of those.
Okay.
Unless he's selling them.
So, real quick, I did not realize that that they were actually in a cage fighting. I thought this was a pun title to the show.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I need a little clarity on that.
I want
like.
instinct.
I'm not sure.
If it's
I'm
a
sure
cage
either.
fight to the death, they might not be in a cage. They might be in any one of the scenes that you could fight in Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or any other thing. So they could be on a beach.
Okay.
It could be midnight. It could be both knives.
Chinatown.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see who has the instinct to kill the other.
I put mine in.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
Yeah.
My question was, although he only assisted in one murder and did not, what my question was, did he show the instinct to be a killer throughout the rest of the movie?
Michael is a survivor. That's his instinct. Like that's my argument is that he doesn't kill people. He's not a cold-blooded killer. But at the same time, he's not going to be killed. He's going to do whatever he has to do to survive.
I think Michael's weapon of choice is a statue, and mine's a shotgun.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
First of all,
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I-
Michael had a gun, like the gun at one point. I don't know.
No, I was just
He's,
thinking about the statue. Like, it was a theme in that movie.
Yeah.
That's all.
all right, I've heard both arguments on the very first fight of the night on Cage Fight, Michael at Red Rock West, Bill Firpo and Trapped in Paradise, and I am prepared to make a decision. Based on the arguments that I've heard, I want to give an explanation on this because I feel like judges do from time to time. We do have one fighter with a moral compass, someone who, when his back is against the wall, he will do what he needs to do. We have another fighter without a moral compass who's been to jail, knows his way around a gun, and was separated from his dumb brothers, would win the fight.
You think he'd win?
This week, our winner is Bill Firpo from Trapped in Paradise.
Congratulations.
It's a good fight or a good match.
I mean, it's tough.
Is tough.
It's tough when you got a person with a moral compass and you're like, hey, you got to kill somebody in cold blood.
You're right. That's
How do you set up that scenario?
You're damn right. Because my guy last week was a paramedic.
Yeah.
I mean, literally like
the opposite.
Taking the Hippocratic oath.
That's why
Good
in these episodes you want to draw. If you were fighting, you want to draw the one with the worst moral compass that would actually be willing to kill someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe the nasty cages win. Maybe the ones that we hated talking about on some of those episodes that we did on Casting Cage, which you can go back and listen to. We've reviewed 28 Nick Cage movies, and if you know anything from 1984 to 2000, you would love hearing some of these episodes, like special ones, Con Air, Raising Arizona, The Rock, like all of these big blockbusters. We've done Long Legs, but now we are back up to fight number 2, which is 2023's Dream Scenario and one Paul Matthews versus 1999's 8mm Tom Wells. We have a new judge, which is Old Boy. This is his first time judging, if I'm not mistaken. And if you've seen either of these movies, especially 1999's 8mm, you are very familiar with the underground world of snuff. And if you've seen 2023's Dream Scenario, just because you're a Nick Cage fan, you understand that that fame can is not really what it seems. It's not as cool as it seems, right? So, but these two characters have to get in a ring and fight each other. So the way we decide this is a good old game of paper, rock, scissors.
Ooh, yeah.
So, okay, it is in a ring.
It's something like that. It's a fight.
I'm just trying to think about it like in a different way, I guess. Like it's like to me it's like they're both in the same world and they have to defeat each other somehow. Like I don't know.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
Because I don't want to just like relegate it to just being in a ring because then it's obviously going to be like little Junior Brown or whatever is gonna win because that dude punches people to death.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Not in a ring, but maybe this could be a psychological battle. Maybe it could be.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you can outsmart the person. You could,
absolutely.
I mean, that's where I was trying to go with the last one. Is like this dude could have Laura Flynn Boyle come in and fucking seduce the dude, and then
and then sneak
bonk
up
him out
and
on
kill
the
him.
head,
Okay, and he would have been seduced.
There-
So
that-
you're right. Okay, that is my
That's
fault.
the way I'm trying to think about it, and I think that's how you were trying to think about it too, old Boy, right?
Yeah,
Like you're writing a whole damn secondary movie involving.
You're
the
right.
sequel.
Yeah, the character's using every tool in their bag
Yes.
to kill the other one. That's it.
Okay.
It's
then-
not just like, okay, he's stronger than the other guy.
Gotcha. Or willing to kill.
Yeah.
Has to be
I mean-
willing to kill is one of them. Because that's the ultimate end
That's
game.
changing
then-
the character
Yeah,
a little
and
bit.
then and then you're just disqualifying like
half of them.
at least. You're disqualifying Cameron Poe. He doesn't want to kill people. He just happens to do it. But like
True.
He killed Billy Bedlam in the belly of that
be-
plane.
only because he had to.
Yeah,
like
because
he's not,
he was about
he's
to
not
get found
cold,
out.
He's not cold blooded.
That is true.
Right.
Okay. I will think about this in a different way. With that being said,
Your Honor.
Bill Firpo would have still won.
Fine.
But I'm not Your Honor anymore. Old Boy is for this fight.
For this one.
No, I was still arguing by last round.
Oh, yeah. You still don't win. Now you have revenge plot coming up because
I mean,
I feel like this is a pretty easy one. You've got 8mm. You've got Tom Wells. He is a 2 seed if you're looking at our bracket, and Paul Matthews is pretty down on the list. But we're gonna see if we can defeat this. So let's start this with a paper, rock, scissors. Ready?
Road.
ready.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Juicebox takes the rock over my scissors.
I'm gonna go
It's your
first this
decision.
time.
Ooh, all right. Juicebox is going first. It's kind of
strike.
like Rabbit in that 8 Mile movie where he defeats Papa Doc by going first because the second person can't say anything. So we're going to see if he can silence me.
Yeah, take the argument right.
I definitely do not have 3 minutes. Tom Wells is a detail-oriented private investigator. He, aside from occasionally smoking, he's physically fit. He's smart. He has a bit of chip on his shoulder over his father-in-law not thinking he's good enough for his daughter. He takes on a case that changes who he is at the core of his being. He goes to the dark side. Simple nightmares can't faze him because he's already seen so many nightmare real shit in real life. He beats a man to death and kills another with a knife. 2 of the most brutal ways to kill somebody. Paul Matthews, on the other hand, is an overweight, mediocre community college professor who for some reason pops up in people's dreams. He couldn't take on Tom physically, and I've already laid out the argument of why his dream powers won't work on Tom Wells. Tom Wells is basically vigilante Batman, and Paul Matthews is an overweight middle-aged dude.
All right, man. I mean, that's a strong case. I've seen these 2 characters.
We all have.
Can't wait to
That's
see.
a strong
I
case?
can't wait. I also love. Yeah, it's a strong case because I've seen Paul Matthews. Now I know you're all like, you got to do your research, think outside the box. So I'm super interested to see what you bring to the table.
Me
man.
too.
If you guys started in 1984 and you were a big fan of horror slasher movies, you've probably seen Nightmare on Elm Street. This is a series that went on forever about a gentleman named Freddy Krueger who killed people in his dreams, or in their dreams. I apologize. The thing about Freddy Krueger is you could not kill him unless it was in a dream. You had to pull him outside a dream into the real world, right? And that's the only way to kill him. You couldn't kill him
Right.
in your own dreams,
Right.
even if you could control those. In 2023, we got a movie called Dream Scenario, and the main character is Paul Matthews, who is a middle-aged midlife crisis professor. He uses dream travel technology to enter dreams, Freddy Krueger, and dreams can be scary. The one thing about dreams is you can't control dreams, right? You can't. When you are in a dream, what happens. Paul Matthews in Dream Scenario actually is violent. He wounds a volunteer when he barges into the school play, if you guys don't remember that. He is the fantasy in that one girl's dream, and that is a little bit intense because she kind of has a thing for, these old confident men, which brings up another point. When you are middle-aged, you have old man strength, right? When you're younger, you're fueling off adrenaline, but when you're old and you start to realize that fame is really getting to you, you develop this old man strength, and you kind of play into it.
Right.
Now, Paul Matthews could have also been hiding a lot inside of that David Byrne suit at the end, and he had access to Freddy Krueger's glove in the dream, which tells me that this is ultimately the prequel to Nightmare on Elm Street, and Paul Matthews turns into Freddy Krueger, and the rest is absolute history. There is no way Tom Wells is going to destroy the Dream Weaver.
Wow.
All right. Can we scratch the last sentence from the record?
Dreamweaver is actually what I just wrote down. Dreamweaver.
Let's scratch the last sentence from the record.
No.
But that is my argument. We are fighting in a whole different world here of dreams.
Okay. All right. And it's not time for me to ask a question yet, right?
Nope. We got a 1 minute rebuttal.
We have a 1 minute rebuttal. All right, Juicebox. Tell me when you want to start.
Immediately. I don't understand how you could even compare Paul Matthews to Freddy, unless you're saying that he's a pedophile, and I would kind of believe that. He can't control his dream powers. Like, so you can't control. Like, Freddy is in people's dreams. He's controlling shit. Paul Matthews just pops up in people's minds. He can't control shit. And also, I'm not really sure what the argument is about him being a fantasy of a girl. Like, how is that helping him in the fight? I just want to ask a question. Like, I don't know what the relevance of that is.
Confidence.
Did we watch the same movie? Because there is not confidence in that part. Anyway, yes, and you say he has old man strength or whatever. It doesn't matter. Paul Matthews has vigilante, like dark power strength. Like he if he finds out that Paul Matthews was a pedophile, fuck man, beat the fuck out of him.
All right, time. All right.
Okay, to be honest with you, Paul Matthews did, in the end, to go with the dream travel technology, kind of started controlling the way he was in dreams, right? And it started to turn like horror. I want to switch really quick with my 1 minute to Tom Wells. Tom Wells, the reason that he would not win this fight is because, one, you pointed out, he is a smoker, and that is really going to affect his stamina. He also has obsession, and that will get the better of him because he is constantly distracted and obsessed. The fact that he took Max California on that trip with him was the dumbest thing when he could have done it on his own. He's a private investigator. He gets into unresearched territory. He's not prepared. He was not prepared for the snuff film industry because he was so scared. And then let's go into the bad guys that he fights and ultimately kills. Are they worthy opponents? Really? The lawyer? Is that a worthy opponent? Is that a guy that's really going to intimidate you?
He doesn't kill the lawyer.
The machine? Is this guy that dresses up in like cosplay gimp stuff? Is he really a worthy opponent? He lives with his mom.
Time. All right, I've got a couple of questions. All right, Juicebox, I'll start with you. Do you think obsession is a weakness or a strength?
I think it's a strength. I think for Tom Wells, it is a strength because that was what drove him to fucking finish the job in the 8mm. It's what drove him to madness, basically.
All right, Bucky, is Paul Matthews a pedophile? That's what we need to know.
If this is the prequel to Freddy Krueger,
Paul Matthews is not a pedophile. If that's your question.
All right.
So this is not the prequel to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
No.
So, all right.
So he is not able to control his dreams like Freddy.
So
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying I think you are.
Okay. So Paul Matthews may in a former life been a pedophile. I don't condone that whatsoever. But I'm saying that if Paul Matthews turned into Freddy Krueger, he had that within him. He had that evil within him.
And all right. My judgment though is that Tom Wells is out to kill evil, and particularly, and he's got killer instinct. He's developed killer instinct. Paul Matthews does not have it. He just doesn't have it. He's a weak individual. You know it. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, he's biased. That's what you're thinking.
I'm not thinking that. I want you to deliver your decision.
It's Tom Wells, man. He did kill people in his film. He would easily kill this schmuck.
Okay.
And no, Dreams can't save him. Dreams didn't even help him in the movie. Like, he had no control over the dreams. He was just even if he was a Freddy Krueger character, I think Juicebox made a good point. Like, there's no Tom Wells is immune to the nightmares because he's been down some dark
already
roads.
Seen some shit.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
beat a man to death. He stabbed a man and watched the life go out of his eyes.
Right.
In his mom's backyard.
All right. Fair enough.
In a Mortal Kombat setting.
So that brings us to the end of episode 2 of Cage Fight. We announced last week that we already have a whole bracket that we have gone through, which is really cool because in the second round of what we're calling the Castor Troy bracket, we have Castor Troy versus Enrico Silvestri from 1989's Time to Kill. And now we have made the next round matchup with 1994's Trapped in Paradise Bill Firpo taking on 1999's 8mm and Tom Wells in that second round. We're going to see who comes out of this bracket. We're excited to bring these episodes to you twice weekly all the way through March Madness until the national championship game, where we're going to have our ultimate national championship of what Nick Cage character comes out on top from all these arguments. We thank you so much for listening. Wherever you're at, you can find us at buckysbasement.com, YouTube, Google, social media, wherever you do all of these things.
Internet. You can find us at internet.
You can find us at internet. We're going to bring these to you, and we are so excited. So keep tuning in. Tell your friends. Print out those brackets. Make those bets. Get everything in. And if all else fails,
Tell your mama and them.
Cage fight. Cage fight. Cage fight.